There's a certain type of video flooding social media right now. You've definitely seen them. A woman sitting in her car, mascara streaked across her cheeks, shaking as she tries to hold herself together while telling the camera she had to take her sick child to the doctor alone. Another one breaks down because groceries and daycare together cost more than she earns. A third one is in full panic because something in her apartment needs repairing, and she has absolutely no idea who to call or how to handle it. These stories aren't exceptions anymore. They're everywhere, and they're multiplying. And behind every one of these viral breakdowns is the same uncomfortable truth. Real life does not care about the independence fantasy modern women were sold. Today, more and more women are discovering, brutally and painfully, that the adult responsibilities they believed they could handle alone are far heavier than they imagined. Let's break down exactly why so many modern women are collapsing under pressures that generations before them managed without social media, without fanfare, and certainly without TikTok. The story usually starts the same way. A woman walks away from a stable life because she believes something better is waiting. Maybe she divorces a decent, hard-working man because she's not happy. Maybe she has kids with men who never plan to commit because she believes she doesn't need a man at all. Maybe she chooses nightlife, impulsive decisions, and temporary thrills instead of building a lasting foundation. Then, once reality sets in, she reappears online, overwhelmed, crying, exhausted, defeated, talking about how impossible everything feels. I watched this unfold with someone I personally know. She left her husband, a good man with a stable income and a deep love for his child, because she felt trapped and wanted to find herself. 6 months later, her content changed from inspirational self-discovery posts to desperate TikToks about burnout and loneliness. Suddenly, the car needs repairs, but she doesn't know what's wrong. Her child wakes up sick in the middle of the night, and she's completely alone. Bills keep coming, and no one's helping. The freedom she chased so aggressively feels less like liberation and more like drowning. The things that push these women to the edge are not extraordinary hardships. They're everyday responsibilities millions of adults handle quietly. Grocery shopping with 3 kids when one is melting down. Moving furniture when it's time to switch apartments. Dealing with landlords, mechanics, and contractors who don't take you seriously. Being sick, but still needing to parent because there is no backup. Handling bills, appointments, repairs, errands, and discipline alone. None of this is extraordinary. It's Tuesday for most adults. But without structure and support, Tuesday becomes a mountain. Everyone celebrates independence, until they discover what it really requires. Independence means, when you have a fever, you still cook the kids' meals. When you're emotionally drained, you still handle bedtime. When you're exhausted from work, you still clean, discipline, teach, organize, budget, and manage everything. Alone. Independence isn't freedom. Independence is carrying every burden on your own shoulders. One man told me about his ex-wife who left him for her independent life. Within months, she called crying. The basement had flooded. She didn't know how to shut off the water. The kids were terrified, and she was having a panic attack. He drove over at midnight to fix everything while she sobbed about how hard her new life was. This was the same woman who insisted she didn't need him. Many single mothers are struggling today, not because life betrayed them, but because they consistently chose excitement over stability. They picked the charming man, not the responsible one. They chose the thrill, not the commitment. They sought the Instagram lifestyle instead of the real one. Now they're raising kids with men who won't commit, won't help, and won't even answer the phone. Yet somehow, everyone else is to blame. We live in a bizarre era where emotional meltdowns are broadcast for likes. Can't pay the rent? Post a crying video. Feeling overwhelmed? Record a breakdown. Kid misbehaving? Film your tears and tell the world. Struggle is now a performance. The irony? Attention, sympathy, and GoFundMe links won't fix car issues, pay rent, discipline kids, or structure a household. Meanwhile, single fathers deal with the same issues, silently. They find solutions, make arrangements, work extra shifts. No crying videos, no sympathy, no handouts. Women often underestimate not just the financial support men bring, but the structure, discipline, and stability they naturally introduce into a home. When dad is gone, bedtimes slip, rules become suggestions, discipline becomes negotiation. Homes descend into chaos. Teachers notice this immediately. Kids from unstable, fatherless homes often arrive, tired, hungry, unprepared, emotionally overwhelmed. Not because mom doesn't love them, but because she's drowning. Many modern women want a man to fix things, a man to provide, a man to protect, a man to give stability. But they don't want to be wives. They don't want to provide loyalty, cooperation, respect, or consistency in return. They want male investment without female reciprocation. And then they're shocked when men refuse the deal. I know a woman who constantly calls her ex-husband for help. Fixing things, yard work, picking up the kids. But when he suggested reconciliation, I need my independence. What she really wants is a husband's effort without being a wife. It's entitlement disguised as empowerment. Modern culture has told women for decades that their feelings are always valid. Their emotions matter more than facts. Their discomfort is oppression. Their frustration is trauma. So they break down at the slightest challenge. Tell a woman today she needs to improve something and she collapses. It's toxic, abusive, controlling, or shaming. And if no improvement is possible, no resilience develops. When someone lacks structure, no budgeting equals constant money emergencies. No discipline equals health problems. No routine equals chaotic mornings. No planning equals daily crises. No boundaries equals emotional exhaustion. Many women run their lives like uncontrolled fires and then cry about the heat. I know one who constantly claims she's broke while spending hundreds on nails, hair, DoorDash, and new outfits. Yet when rent is due, suddenly she's a victim of the economy. No, she's a victim of her decisions. Everything is always someone else's fault. The ex she pushed away, the job she chose, the family she alienated, the government she depends on, the economy she mismanages, society, men, anyone but herself. The one person who could change her life is the one person she refuses to blame. Kids growing up with overwhelmed, unstable mothers face emotional chaos, inconsistent discipline, financial instability revolving father figures, parentified roles, anxiety, confusion, lost childhoods. The 8-year-old acting as emotional support, the 10-year-old raising siblings, the teenager more mature than mom. This isn't empowerment. It's generational damage. Let's talk numbers. 70% of divorces are initiated by women. Among college-educated couples, it's 90%. And most aren't leaving abusive men. They're leaving because of feelings. I'm not happy. I'm unfulfilled. I need to find myself. They trade stable homes and loving partners for a fantasy. A fantasy that collapses under real-life responsibilities. A single mother crying online becomes a hero. A single father struggling becomes invisible. A woman overwhelmed gets support. A man overwhelmed gets mocked. We live in a culture where female struggle is currency and male struggle is weakness. Many women today want a man who fixes the car, a man who carries heavy things, a man who pays, a man who protects. But they don't want to provide respect, loyalty, cooperation, or stability in return. They want a butler, not a partner. Quality men aren't signing up for this abuse. Boys are raised knowing they'll have to be competent. Girls are raised believing they're already perfect. So when real life hits, many women crumble. Car trouble becomes panic. Small inconveniences become trauma. Constructive feedback becomes abuse. Normal stress becomes oppression. They weren't conditioned for responsibility. Many women genuinely believe adulthood should be easy, fun, exciting, rewarding, free of discomfort. But adulthood is routine, discipline, sacrifice, and responsibility. They want the Instagram version of life, not the real one. The cycle is consistent. Freedom phase. I don't need anyone. Reality phase. This is harder than I thought. Panic phase. I can't do this alone. Victim phase. Why won't anyone help me? Blame phase. It's everyone's fault but mine. The women who truly improve their lives do so because they accept responsibility, build discipline, develop resilience, stop broadcasting struggle, start solving problems. And like magic, their lives improve, not because life got easier, but because they got stronger. Most won't change. They're too invested in victimhood. Sympathy feels good. Attention feels good. Accountability feels bad. So they'll keep crying online, keep avoiding responsibility, and keep wondering why life is so hard. Kids watching this learn. Boys, men are disposable. Girls, struggle is currency. Accountability, optional. Emotion, always right. Discipline, unnecessary. Stability, not required. We're manufacturing generational dysfunction. Our grandmothers raised large families without modern appliances, without emotional theatrics, without online validation. Modern women melt down over one child and a job, with microwaves, dishwashers, delivery apps, online shopping, AI assistants, and endless conveniences. The issue isn't capability, it's conditioning. It's softness. It's fragility, disguised as empowerment. Men are finally realizing you can't save someone who won't save herself. You can't partner with someone who wants to be rescued. You can't build with someone who avoids responsibility. You can't invest in emotional volatility. Competent women are being overshadowed by dysfunctional ones, making good men hesitant and cautious. The harsh reality is simple. Life is hard. Independence has a cost. Feelings don't replace responsibility. And reality does not negotiate. Those who develop competence, resilience, and accountability thrive. Those who don't collapse. I want to hear from you. Have you seen women collapse under basic responsibilities? Have you watched someone throw away stability for freedom only to drown in the reality they created? What examples have you seen of this growing trend? Share your thoughts below. Let's talk honestly about a reality everyone sees, but few are willing to say out loud.